Welcome to nfoGuides, where I show you what little I know. Okay, everybody, so today I want to kind of go over just kind of some numbers of my first rig, where I stand as far as a potential future payout, what my numbers look like right now. I'm curious about any feedback as I go through this. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are, if I could do better. Yeah, just let me know. I'm really interested in feedback. Okay, so right here I got my Hive dashboard open, and so what I want to talk about is when you get started doing crypto mining, I definitely think it's wise to really keep track of your numbers until you understand what you're building, what your expenses might end up being. And so maybe I've gone a little bit overboard. I know there's some websites that will do some of what I'm about to show you, but I went ahead and did it myself because that helps me get these numbers stuck in my head. So as I add things to my rig or make another rig, I will truly understand these. So first off, right now we'll go ahead and take a look at my farm right here. Now I only have, I was testing a card earlier, and I'll be discussing that in a future video here. But for now, we're just going to talk about the one that I've had running. So my scavenger rig here. It's been running now for a couple of days, and I've been tracking all the numbers. You know, the mega hash here, I did manage to find some new overclock settings. I got just a RX 5700. I'm using some overclock settings I found for the 5700 XT. And this card's been, it managed to drop my wattage down from 137 watts down to 100 watts. And my mega hash, I did lose a little bit. I lost like 1.2 mega hash. But again, I'm saving 37 watts. So I really think that's good and worth it. Again, these are overclock settings that I found for a Radeon RX 5700 XT. Mine is not an XT. This here is a GeForce RTX 2060. I haven't toyed too much with the overclock settings. These here, I'm using a preset that I found and loaded. It's at 70 watts, 31.8 mega hash. I thought that was good enough that I haven't really messed with it. Let me know your thoughts below. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so looking deeper into this is, okay, how much is this wattage going to cost me? Down here for power consumption, initially when you have your farm set up, this number down here is going to be completely wrong. Unless you go into your settings and make a change, this reading will be completely off. So what I did is I went into the settings here and I adjusted the hardware power consumption in watts. So this is like with no video cards running, what wattage is your power supply and motherboard burning up just by being on, sitting there running its little part of the HiveOS and doing its thing. So I did some backwards math, found out based on a meter I had plugged in the wall, found out it's my motherboard and CPU, or motherboard and power supply are burning up about 106 watts. So that has gotten it so my number on this screen is far more accurate. So when I'm looking here, I am much more comfortable that this is pretty accurate. So now let's go into how much money am I really making on all this? So to do that, I went into the HiveOn pool here to see what my numbers are according to its estimates. And so it's estimating in everything that I'm making 0.284 ETH per day and $5.70 US per day. These numbers right now are skewed because I was testing a card earlier, and these numbers update or show an average over the past 24 hours, I believe. Now, the reason I'm guessing at that. I haven't been able to prove that, but what I do know is when I plugged in the other test card, my mega hash that was getting reported here instantly changed to a higher mega hash, but this number up here did not change right away. Well, I've been running that card as a test for a couple hours today. So I just want you to realize down here, if you look at my graph, you can see this is where I plugged in the card for a while. And then I unplugged it for a while. Then I plugged in the new card for a while. And then I unplugged it. So my numbers right now on this screen are skewed. I would recommend looking at this only after you've been running your whole rig for 24 hours with no changes. That will get you a little bit more accuracy. Okay, so that being said, what I want to look at is, am I making money? Am I losing money? So I came up with my own spreadsheet here. So a lot going on this spreadsheet. Let me kind of go over what I did and how my numbers are being calculated, just based off of the HiveOS numbers that I just showed you and a couple of other factors. First off, I looked at my electric bill for the past year and I calculated how many kilowatts I used per month and how much my bill costs me. And I calculated my cost per kilowatt hour, and that came out for me at 14 cents average. Obviously here, some months are more expensive, some months are cheaper, but I'm taking the average. So I took 12 months, averaged it. I'm getting an average of 14 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, my rig, these are just numbers I've got in my rig. So I went into HiveOS and I saw my Radeon RX 5700 was burning 100 watts. Again, that's just this number I see here. And then I was looking at my NVIDIA RTX 2060 and pulled its number from here. And that does fluctuate 1 or 2 watts, but in general, that's where I pulled the number from. And I'm getting ready to add a GTX 1060. That's the card I was testing. So right now it's 0. Now, I got the total hourly watts. The way I got this was I used kilowatt hour monitor device that I plugged my rig into and ran for over 24 hours with no changes. And I saw how much my rig with this configuration used in one day. Well, that came out to 277 watts. So if I know that's 100 watts, I know that was 72 watts. That left me with 105.41 watts that the motherboard and power supply must be using. So that is the number that I came over here to my rig, went into the settings, rounded up, and threw it in here for my hardware power consumption. And this jumped, it by default is set at 200. So that's why if you're looking for a little bit more accuracy, you want to do the math and reset that number. So based on the total watts per day, total daily watts is, 277 was per hour. Then daily watts was 6,657, which works out to 6.65. That's how many kilowatts I'm using per day. So then let's look at over here. I've got some numbers. These numbers over here, I just started doing this. I'm going to take an average of 12, and this is based on how much Ethereum mined per day. I'm using the Phoenix miner and the Hive pool. So what I do to get this number, and the reason I'm averaging it is because, again, Ethereum prices change constantly. So I'm just randomly taking some numbers and putting them in here, but then taking the average to help me estimate what I'm going to get for a payout, possibly. And so the place I'm getting these numbers from is actually over here on this screen here. I was pulling these two numbers right here. What Hive pool was estimating that I earned per day, and how many coins per day I was getting. I would take this number, so like right now, 570. I come over here. I'm just going to add this, so 5.70 is what it's saying right now. Again, this is going to be skewed. I had an extra card running for a little bit. And I have all these fields tied together, so when I add that, you saw some numbers change over here, which I'll go over in just a second. And then I came over here and grabbed my number of coins is 0.00284. Came back, 0.00284. Okay, so you saw some numbers change over here again. So what this does is it now calculates an average of, the price has been up and down, but this has been the average. And again, I'm just picking random days and times where I just glance at that number, I'm throwing it in here, getting an average. Okay, so now over here, mining rig kilowatts per day. So this 6.657, that is the number that I calculated from down here. So daily total kilowatts that my rig is burning, I feed up into here, and this is telling me based on a day, I'm getting 6.6. Based on a month, I'm 199 kilowatts, and then a year. The average Ethereum per day. Okay, so this is using these numbers here. This is the average number of coins per day. And I'm looking at coins because with the money changing all the time, if you hold your coins and don't sell them, really this is the number that matters. It's not so much this number, but it's how many coins are you getting, or fractional coins are you getting. So that's Ethereum per day. This is how many Ethereum per month and how many Ethereum per year. And estimated how much that is worth for the year, how much it's worth for a month. So for 1 month, it says I'm about $159 a month. Well, now we got to take out what we're burning up in electricity. So my electric cost per day is 92 cents. This is coming from how many watts I'm burning, well, how many kilowatts per day. Kilowatts times my kilowatts per my charge, 14 cents, is getting me, so it's costing me 92 cents a day to run this rig. It's costing me $27.46 for the month. It's costing me $333 a year. Okay, now I'm looking at how much am I making after I take out the electric. So it says I'm making up here about $5.32 a day. I'm going to take out what it cost me for the electric, and that's going to mean I'm earning about $4.41 a day, or $132.19 for a month, and then a year. The next big thing that we have to look at is that's how much it's estimating, but how long is it going to take me to actually get that money or those coins? So the HiveOS F pool needed for a payout, this is how many Ethereum coins do I need for the HiveOS pool to pay to my wallet. And their site says for the HiveOS pool, they pay out every 0.1 Ethereum. So I need to earn 0.1 Ethereum. That's where this number comes in. How many days does it take me to get 0.1 Ethereum? Well, I started mining over here on the 14th. Today is not the, oh yeah, today is the 22nd. And so I've been running for 8 days. I'm estimating I have 29 days left for payout. Over here, this is really the numbers I'm trying to get to. So over here, we're seeing that it's estimating I will get a payout every 37 days. That payout estimated value will be $196 based on an average. And after I pay for the electricity, it'll actually be $163 profit. So again, this doesn't take into account the expense I put into buying parts. I'll probably put those numbers in later to kind of go over that and show you. But rough estimate is I already owned my RX 5700, no cost. The motherboard, power supply, and all that old junk I had laying around, no cost. The RX 2060, I managed to get that in a weird way. Kind of explained a little bit the other day in one of my other videos on that. But basically, I'm going to estimate I only spent like $300 to acquire that card. Now, the other mining rig stuff, which isn't listed, the expansion cards and all this kind of stuff I needed, I got probably about another $100 wrapped up in that. So right now you're looking at, I have about 400, maybe 450 tied up into this. So with that number and this profit, I need to get at least 2 payouts to kind of break even, and I won't really make a profit on this hardware until that 3rd payout. So that's what I'm looking at here. Now I did just pick up this GTX 1060. It's going to be the weakest of my cards, but I managed to get that for $260. I don't know if that's a good deal or not. I think it is right now. Video card prices are really high. It is July 22nd, just for a reference, and video card prices really haven't come down yet for the masses. So I managed to latch onto it for $260. I got it off of Facebook Marketplace. So we'll see how that pans out. So I hope these numbers helped everybody just get an idea that's just starting out of, this is just a 2-card rig. You know, you get a rig with 6-7 cards in it. I would love to know what people are making on a rig like that. Most of the time I haven't seen people share real numbers. So I wanted to take this time and opportunity to show everybody real numbers I'm looking at. So I really hope this helped everybody. Do me a favor, like this, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell. I would really appreciate it. Leave me feedback. Let me know how you think I'm doing, what you think about my setup so far. Do you think my numbers are lacking something? I'm fully aware that there are websites that will do some of this calculation for you. Again, I built this out myself because it helps my brain truly retain and understand these numbers as I add to my setup. So I really appreciate everybody. Hope you come join me for future videos that I have coming out. I'm going to try to keep giving you updates on this, and we'll catch you next time. As always, I'm here to show you what little I know.